The nobility in the Middle Ages, privileges and social ascension. In the Middle Ages, the nobility represented the most prestigious and powerful class in society. Being noble meant enjoying privileges, owning lands, and having the right to command others. However, it was not easy to become part of this elite. The most common way was to be born into an aristocratic family, but there were also other, albeit more difficult, ways to obtain a noble title. One of the surest ways to become noble was through descent. Noble titles were passed down by inheritance, usually from father to eldest son. These titles could be of various levels, from knights to dukes, and brought with them privileges such as exemption from certain taxes and the right to administer justice in the territories they possessed. However, not all aristocrats had the same influence. Wealth, political alliances, and the sovereign's favors determined the real importance of a noble. Another way to enter the nobility was through military service. Sovereigns and feudal lords often rewarded the bravest warriors by granting them lands and titles. The most common case was that of the knight, a fighter trained since childhood, who could receive fiefs in exchange for his loyalty. Some knights, thanks to their courage in battle, were elevated to a higher rank, obtaining titles such as baron or count. Wealth could also be a means to obtain a noble title. In some medieval periods, especially in the late Middle Ages, it was possible to buy nobility. Kings, always looking for funds to finance wars and projects, granted titles to rich merchants or bankers in exchange for large sums of money. These new nobles, despite not having an ancient lineage, could access the privileges of the aristocratic class and pass the title on to their descendants. Finally, another possibility was the clergy. Some members of the nobility chose an ecclesiastical career, but even men of modest origins could become bishops or cardinals and obtain privileges equal to, if not superior to, those of lay nobles. The power of the church in the Middle Ages was enormous, and some clergymen amassed wealth and political influence comparable to that of kings and emperors. Becoming noble in the Middle Ages was not impossible, but it required valor, money, or the favor of powerful sovereigns. The nobility remained a closed class, jealous of its privileges, and those who managed to enter its ranks always had to prove that they were worthy of being part of it.